Hello and welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's video is gonna be a mashup. I wanna talk about many things, and I wanted to make this video all day long because I woke up with light language, and then I thought, how nice would it be if I were to make a video how I come across to work with light language, how did I experience light language, and what is light language for me. And I would like to talk about other things too, a bit about the flow, how to flow, a bit about some spiritual tools. So yes, as you guessed, it's gonna be about spirituality a bit. It's kind of a bit out there topic, what I am going to talk about, or topics. So let's just start with it. I again made some notes because I don't wanna go and divert myself really. So let's talk about so the flow. Flow is a really interesting thing because, as I said, all day today I wanted to make this video, and I only get to do it like in the end of my day really. It's quite kind of late now, but anyhow, I had this need that it has to come out of me, so I was like, yeah, I don't care, I just gonna do it no matter when it's gonna get done. And how can you see that you are in a flow, or experience whether you are in your flow or you are pushing against something? For example, I made kind of a video for my friend, and I was about to make, and she sent it over to me, and I couldn't open it. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter where you send it, I just cannot open it. So I couldn't do anything. I had to put it aside, and in the meanwhile, I was also working on my work. I was doing some workshop work, like online workshop thing. So I was like, yeah, okay, so what does it mean to me? What does it show to me is that I have to work on my thing first, and then when it's done, I'm gonna go back to her stuff. And sure enough, when I finished with my stuff, we had no problems. She managed to send it through to me in a different medium, and then I could open it and I could cut it a bit. It's not perfect or anything, but it's quite good. I was quite happy that she was happy. So yeah, that's the main thing, that she was happy. Um, and so I was about to upload, but I'm impatient. And what did I do? I started to delete the files to free up space. So all it went to the air, so it never uploaded. And I was like, I can't believe this. I just worked like in that moment 4 hours on this, and now I cannot do anything because I have a person coming to me for English. I'm like, yeah, okay, I have to do the English, I cannot worry about this. So again, I had to obviously put it aside. And then later that day, I was like, yeah, okay, I just gonna do it anyway. So I started to do it again, and no, it didn't happen. I think I lost it again, or it didn't want it to upload, or something happened. I was, yeah, never mind, calm, I'm calm. I took a deep breath, and I think I started to do it again, and fourth time that day, or I don't know, I lost count. I was like, okay, I write down everything now that this set of video is like, I don't know how many minutes. This is number one. So I counted it all out. I made the cuttings in regards, I wrote it all down, and then funny enough, I managed to put it all together. So what does it mean? It means that sometimes you have to put things away, and you have to kind of work on something else or do something else till you can get back to your flow. So sometimes your blocks, physical, mental, doesn't matter what sort of block it is. It's there for you to be able to kind of chill or take a step back, and then you can carry on. So it doesn't mean that you have to give up on the thing. It's just that you have to maybe put it aside. It doesn't mean that you are to put it aside in the first hurdle. you experience? No, not at all. But so what I want to point out here is that this is when you kind of realize that you are not in your flow. So then you can, when you acknowledge this, you are able to step aside and just let it be and then come back to it. I think if you experience this, maybe you can come up with some examples in your own life. How does it work? Because I have many experiences, um, ticket booking or going somewhere and you just cannot go there, and then if it doesn't happen, I try usually 2 or 3 times, and if I can't do it, I just let it be. I'm not even worried about it, even if it's like really important, or if something goes wrong and I cannot make it right in that moment or whatever. I'm just uh, what it's really useful for is that you stop worrying about things you can't change through. You learn to really let it just happen, and then later you go back to it, and it's not like you giving up on it. It's just that you not getting too emotional with it, or you learn how to keep your emotions in check. Like, I didn't really manage to do this when I lost this material and after 4 hours of work. But yeah, okay, I was upset for like I think 2 minutes, and that was it. So I think it's all right, really. I don't know how would I have felt if it would be a material like a 1 hour material or something. I would have lost like that's a different topic. But this is how you can kind of see, and you can teach yourself how to deal with it, and you can experience your flaws or your blockages. So that would have been the first topic I wanted to talk. I told you it's gonna be kind of a mashup. So what can you use, or what can we use for working with spirituality, working with the spirit, or higher self, or universal energies? So um, I came to work with crystals, but I am not an expert. I'm kind of just a user. So um, we always had crystals in my home. I don't know why, but we just did. And but I think it's quite common, to be honest, if you think about that. You buy crystals as a necklace or like a bracelet because of your star signs and horoscopes and stuff like this. So you probably everybody would end up with some sort of crystals. And the first crystal I bought for myself was in India, and I got like a really nice like ring, and it was like a gold stone, so it looked like a sand. It was even cut like sand, like the dunes. It was quite pretty. I still have it, and it really reminded me of the earth, like sand. And then I got another one which was like a blue one that reminded me of the stars. So yeah, those were the first two crystals as earrings which I got. And at the moment I'm really drawn to the white ones. So I put here a few what I really like. This is selenite. I really love selenite. I don't know why. I think it's so pretty. I like how it shines, how the light like kind of slides on it. I think it's amazing. When I got it, I got such heavy headaches, so it was clearing something uh, quite for quite some time, almost a week, I would say. And I have this tiger eye, and for some reason I use these two together. So the tiger eye gives me like courage, and this for some reason gives me information. Not always, but like the two together, for me it's a quite good combination. But as I said, I'm not an expert. And then I have this pretty white one. I really like to sleep with this. It has such a nice gentle energy. I love it. And then I have my whole light, and yeah, I do love whole light too. Um, it also has like this really nice calming energy. And then at the moment what I have some moonstone on me as a bracelet. I got it from my cousin, and in my neck there is a tektite and a citrine, and obviously I have my shungit. I always have shungit around, um, and I have, it's a lot of herbs now in it. So, and I have this amethyst and citrine. I think it's so yummy. I mean, this is just like a piece of candy. So, as I said, I'm like an end user, I'm not an expert whatsoever. So, all I can tell about crystals is that in one point I really thought that I'm gonna be able to spend my life, and I want to spend my life just to kind of experience as much, as many, or as much as I can in regards of crystals, because when you're drawn to one and you look into it, it's like a different world. It could be even like a whole universe in this little crystal. And then I do think of them like living things, or like children. So when I put them out to sunbathe, they kind of all come alive. You can feel the energy change. Or sometimes I take them down to have a bath in the running water. Not all of them, because you cannot really put all of them into the water, like selenite you can't. Also, selenite clears other crystals. So it's really interesting. How do you know when you need to clear a crystal? In my experience, uh, for me, when a crystal is clean, especially clear quartz or rose quartz, it feels, when it's clean, it feels really heavy and kind of calm. And when it's kind of muddy, in a sense that its energy is muddy or dirty, it feels it feels anxious. It feels not frustrated, but it's kind of, it's not calm. It's an anxious energy. There is an anxious energy in it, and this is when I know that it needs to be cleaned. It's interesting, but I think maybe everybody experiences this differently. I don't know. Um, when I get my crystals, I usually wash them, and then I just hold them, and I tell them that thank you that they come to me, and then I can work with them, and I ask them to show me what they got really, because they are all different, and some of them can be quite dormant for quite some time, and some of them are really ready to open up quite quick and easy, I would say. But you really have to put it's not so straightforward. You really have to put your time and effort in it, and your love and appreciation, and then they're gonna open up to you. I just love this one really. And what else is there to say for me about crystals? Mm, so I talked about how to clean it, how to work with it. Some people can put energy in it. I sometimes hold them, but I'm not consciously putting anything into them, really. I just like to work what they have inside already. Um, Apart from, as I said, my massaging crystals, there are two quartzes, like clear quartzes and the rose quartzes, and they pick up others' energies. Um, but yeah, consciously I don't put anything in them. That's not my thing. And how I choose the crystal? Well, I have one or two crystal books, so I used to read them, and then in one point I was like, yeah, I need this and this and this for spiritual or for physical um, alignment. Let's put it this way. And then I would go and pick the crystal, but the most surprising and most rewarding when you kind of just go and fell in love with a crystal, like how I fell in love with a whole light. It's not this one. I have like a necklace and a bracelet, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know why I'm really drawn to white. I was at time too, and I just picked it up, and later I checked what does it mean, or why would you choose a whole light, or what's its energy. and then I figured that it was really working for me at that time. So I think it can work either way, but you really have to respect your crystal. So you have to give it a time to open up to you, and you really have to spend time with it. It's like a person, really. All of them is like different, and they are all different. It's amazing, really. So that's this is it really what I can tell about the crystals, because I also work really intuitively with a crystal. Now I learn, the more I learn about energy, more I realize that I just have to go intuitively about it, and I don't really try to analyze it. I just go with it, and later when the situation happened, then I gonna kind of make my own assumptions about it on why and how, but I don't try to figure it out beforehand. It's just not working with energy work, I think. But maybe for some it does, I don't know. So that would have been about the crystals. Another thing is, what can you use to help you in spirituality? Many people use incense, or they use different kind of sticks. I have really good sticks from one person, and oils, and they are really amazing. I will probably make a video about it in one point, because they are really really amazing, and they really subtle. Like, they are not subtle, sorry, they are so subtle, so they are really delicate. It's really potent also, and you can feel the blends, like you can almost feel how it's been, like I'm talking about the oil now, how it's been blended together. And it's really interesting, because I'm gonna talk about it in another video. So you can work with oils, incense. I usually use clearing stick and also white sage, and for me white sage is the best, regardless, because how I would put it, I could always put it when I first experienced white sage, is that if I would be a nail varnish, and you would wash me down with acetone, and it kind of felt that it's kind of like almost physically sucks something out from me, the dirtiness, the heaviness, and it was like a really proper rinse. It's really amazing. I don't know if you can relate to it. I told you this video is gonna be really out there, like a weird kind of video. So it does make you feel lighter, but like I experienced in a way that it's kind of almost in a molecular level, it's sucked out energy, negative energy or dirty energy from me. I could put it this way, I suppose. What else can you use? Well, I have this beauty here. So my friend does this. This is what is the English name? Oh my god. This is a copper. This is made out of copper, and it's been shaped in a form of triskelion. So usually she works with symbols, and I experienced quite a few of her creations, and they are quite amazing. So she was giving this to me, and I usually put this under my glass of water, and also clears the waters quite nicely. It's really nice. I like it, but also copper has its own it has benefits on its own, but symbols also have benefits. So just think about this for a minute, or just remember this when I'm gonna be talking about something else in a second. What else am I using? Going down towards the abstract, I really like sound bowls. So I have this sound bowl. I think its sound is perfect. It's perfect for me anyway. You see, I found when I'm working that uh, sound is closer to me than crystals when I'm doing like energy work. Not when I'm doing the massage, because there religiously I'm using them stones, and they are like they are amazing. They are, yeah, they are really cool. But for cleaning or lifting energetically someone up, I like sound, and this is already a bit more abstract for me, and it's lighter and it's quicker, because we all know that we are made of like 70% of water. So you kind of raise your vibration in your body just by using a singing bowl or your own voice, or listen to some mantras or chant or something. So yeah, it's a funny story also how I got this. I got this from England. So I went to the local store, and they usually sell there like drums and violins and flutes and I don't know. And they had like some singing bowls as a novelty, I think, or I don't know, really. And I was like, yeah, I would like to try it, really. And then, sorry, I can't stop playing with it. I put it down now here. So yeah, so and they had it, and I tried it. I was like, yeah, okay, I would like to buy this one, please. And as I went to pay, another lady walked in, and she was like, oh, I came to see if you have a singing bowl. And I was like, what a coincidence. That shop wasn't busy, and usually it's never is busy. People mostly just go there to try out stuff, but I didn't really see bustling with people buying stuff. And how interesting it is that two people go there in the same day, in the same half an hour, to buy to buy singing bowls. So I kind of looked at it as a sign, and I was like, yeah, I definitely have to work with this, and so I did. So I really love it. I think it has such a nice voice. What else do I use? Well, the big con is this. I am using this. This is my pendulum. So we are going down on a route to divination. Um, I know people use the tarot cards, or I don't know. Um, I'm not saying I wasn't drawn to them, but I don't know. I think it's not for me. I'm quite happy with my pendulum. I came to use the pendulum when I was 18, I think, 16, 18. So let's say I'm already been using it for about a good 20, 22 years. And I got to learn it. So even now, before I decided that I would like to talk about it, I asked the pendulum if it's okay for me to talk about it in this video, because I really respect it. And I always ask if it's okay, if I can ask about certain topics, and if the pendulum says no, I would never touch it. So I'm not asking. So I really respecting my pendulum and the energy of pendulum. I always ask it if it's still true, and yes, it shows if it's still true. Um, And what I learned in this many years is that you can ask almost everything, and it's gonna show you the truth in the now, just now. It might be absolutely different in the next hour, or in the next day. But what you learn from it, it's, well, you cannot be upset with this, really, because everything is constantly changing. So it can only give you an insight in that precise moment in regards of situations. So the way you have to work with it, you ask yes and no questions. So first you have to um, get to know your pendulum, and ask it to show you where is the yes and where is the no, because all of them work differently. And then you can start to work with it. Mindset wise, I think I can't really say what is my mindset now, because it's so natural to me. I think it might be, well, you have to clear your mind. Some people probably would say it out loud. I always just say out my questions in my head, and if I'm when I was just kind of learning it and I was too excited, then I would ask the same questions many times just to really confirm and just to see if my hand is not moving on anything. But with practice, you will know when it's true, when it's you will know it's never is you really, because you will just know, because sometimes it's really kind of goes in a weird ways and shapes. And sometimes, as I said, when I was too pushy or I was like too impatient and I was asking the same thing like million times, you could see that the pendulum got like really agitated and almost angry with me. So it was like really swinging like really in a aggressive manner, I would say. So I came to learn not to kind of push it. And yeah, if you were to ask, and I did that, are you upset with me or should I just leave this alone? And it would show you that yes, you should leave it alone already, And so, as I said, I don't really know now how to get into the mindset, because you have to let it go, hold the question in your thought, and don't the best to start with, I would say, with with questions when your answer when the answer is not really important, to get to know your pendulum. But don't treat it, if you are serious about it, don't treat it as a party trick. Respect it, because then it's gonna respect you and your questions. I'm really serious about this. um, so as I said, I could do this now even with this, or if I would have like a stone in the hand, I could do it. I can do with both hands, so it's no problem. I can do with my necklace if I wanted to. So this is a tool. The energy is quite different, but I do respect the tool because it's needed, because it has to, something has to show the way. So yeah. And I would say that this is my personal one at this moment, not in a at the moment where I am at. This is my personal one, but actually I have a different personal one really. And then I have like a working one for chakras, and this is like a proper one, but actually I like my improper pendulum better. Can you see how it's moving? It's like so ready to go. Thank you. Thank you, calm. Thank you. Yeah. And so this one actually works the opposite way around. So the yes and no is in opposite way around, like in my personal one. So yeah, and what I learned, I was thinking if the pendulum shows or works with my higher self, or is it universal energy, or what it is in it? Because in the beginning I was thinking it must be my higher self or something. Okay, the energy comes from the universe, but it must be my higher self. And then when I ask about things I really didn't want it to do, but I wanted to ask its opinion, and then it gave me an answer which I wasn't happy with, in a sense that I really didn't want it to do it or whatever. Then I realized that this is not my higher self, because if you with if you are connected to your higher self so let me just finish. So if you are connected with your higher self, it's then all the answers are already inside you. So in some level you know the answer already, so you don't really have to ask. And it's true in a sense with pendulum and things too. So it does work with your higher self, but it also works with universal energy. What I mean, it's not your consciousness. This is what I'm gonna get at. So it's not only just your consciousness, it's more. It's like more. And so yeah, I think I lost my uh, train of thought. So I think this is it. So yeah, I really trust my pendulum. It never let me down in anything really. I learned not to be upset, and I learned that the now is just as the now is fluid, everything is fluid, so you cannot really take it too seriously, but it can give you like a really good insight, and I really kind of appreciate it. It work. Yeah, it's amazing. So that would be the pendulum. So that's already, I think, quite abstract in a sense. And now let's move on to the light language. And how did I come across light language? And I think, as I said, that like sound, it's closer to me than like working with crystal or energy of crystals. Um, how I so that's why I think I may be drawn to light language, although I now, but when I came across it in a first time, I was really, I didn't wanted to do anything with it, and I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is like really weird. It's not for me. Let's just do the meditation work with from our heart, and that's enough for me. Like really, if I manage to do this all my life, I think I'm good. But no, it's not how it ended up. So I started to do my massages, and I don't know how long in. Um, One day I just received a code, and I was like, oh, maybe I received this to kind of implement it in my massage. So the next person who came in, I kind of did the code on the person, and then I received more and more and more, and I was like, wow, maybe, you know, maybe I kind of have to use all these codes when I'm massaging people, and this is like clearing them in a cellular level or something, I don't know. Because I do like a really quick energy work, like right in a very end, but that's like really like it's a few minutes, not more really. But they are always through the whole session. They've been held in a kind of in a grace, and I'm there to serve and like to like really to just to serve them, and that's it. And and I think I really do think that that's why I started to receive the codes. And so yeah, I I kind of told this to my friend, and because she has experience with this, because as I said, I wasn't even interested. And then she said, yeah, 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 it looks like it's light language, and light language is something you can talk, sing, or you can kind of. Some people dance, or they like really have like hand movements. Um, and she was like, yeah, yeah, just carry on, and if you feel like just sing it out or talk it out or draw it down. So I started to draw it down because, as I said, I I like abstract, and I kind of I'm quite artistic in a sense, if I have to label, and it was easier for me like kind of to draw it out. So I did start to draw it out, and then I was like, okay, I went to YouTube, because where do you go in this day? And I was looking for some light language videos, and I find many, and I was like, nah, this is not resonating with me. Okay, I just gonna work with my code, so that's enough. It doesn't matter. Then I came across one lady, Tiffany Tin, and like she did like activations with light language or channeling, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it, and it was amazing. It was like really great. Um, really cleared, and then I started to receive even more. There were like nights, I would say, not days, but nights, when I see like so many motifs and things like I with my conscious mind, I don't even know how to comprehend it. So it's basically just got into my DNA or my etheric body or whatever aura. Let's just say it. It just went into my aura. And so yeah, and yeah, okay, I was doing this and still working with those codes, but I didn't really share it with anyone. I didn't talk about it for like a year, like for to anyone, because I was like, nah, this is like too personal, and this is like too new. And and then after all this, um, you can activate a lot of things. Like it's really amazing, but that's like really, really, really out there. So I'm not gonna talk about this. So then I started to talk light language, and I started to sing it. And the way I could explain it to you, it's like when you, let's say, you go to Reiki, or you have some energy work done on you or with you, and you feel like really clean and really light and like happy, like naturally, like so happy, and it's like it feels like you, like there is like a light shining through you from the inside to outside, and it's like really a beautiful experience. Only one time I experienced this, when I had like some energy healing done, and it was like just like this, and this is so instant. That's why I really believe that light language is like oh my god, it's so quick. It's so quick. It changes it changes energetically something inside people so quickly, and you know, if they are not used to it, like they don't know how to put it in words, they don't know, they just know that they feel better or they are calm or something like this, and that's enough because um, for them. But me, I like to really think about how did it make me feel, and I really wanna kind of be able to articulate how it makes me feel, or this. That's why I know that. That's why also I know when I'm sleeping. Let's say I'm sleeping with my diet or something, because I start to feel heavier, and I know. And that I have to be mindful, and I have to kind of adjust it. I have to balance it out again. So that's the whole point of this self realization, in this sense that you are self regulating because you are aware. That's why you are aware or awake, I would say, because you can regulate yourself in regards of physical, mental, or whatever, because you can. Um, After a while, um, yeah, that could lead us in so easily to another topic, like what I wanted to say, like alcoholism, or like smoking and stuff like this. But I just can't find now the word for this. Addictions. Sorry, addictions. Yeah, but I'm not gonna go there. So yeah, so going back to the light language. So then I started to draw it, and I can talk it, and sometimes just when I see others' hand movements, I can understand it, and it's kind of hits you almost in different positions. It's also really relaxing, and it's like gives you an instant boost. And now that I'm practicing, I know that this is not a fluke, or they don't really make it up, because I see many similar patterns of energy, or movements emerging when they use their hands, and sometimes when I look at light language drawings, it just gives me like shivers, like literally it's like gives me shivers. It's like amazing. So it really does activate something, and I think that's gonna be like a really good and instant thing. And I do believe if you hold the frequency and the vibration through sound, or mostly sound, I would say, or even visually, you can change what's been maybe destroyed, or not destroyed, but kind of tainted um, by things. I don't really like. I don't know how to say this really. I don't wanna be too direct. Um, um, what else I wanted to say? I wanna say so many things, but yet again, I don't wanna say many things, because this is like an intro of the spirit or spiritual work, or whatnot. So I don't wanna be really too out there, but yeah, always when you do this spirit work, it's important to mention that you have to do your protection, and you always work from love and light. So that is important, and you always check back when you receive information. Always you need to check it back if it's from love and light. Sometimes the form of the information might be quite aggressive, but it doesn't mean that it is aggressive. But I think I might gonna talk about this in another video, because it is already quite long. And yeah, but I need to point this one out. So why light language, and why does it talk to me? Because it's abstract. Because I think that's the most important thing for me. It's abstract in a sense that if I tell you that I have walked to the door, um, yeah, okay. So we all know what does it mean. But if I were to say this, or no, let's make a more appropriate example, like um, your heart is strong and shining. So if I were to say this to you, we agreed upon the words and their meaning, so we all know what does it mean. But what if I can? But we only understand it if we talk the same language. And even when we talk the same language, the meaning behind the word can be quite different from for me and for you. But if I translate this into light language, which is the language of the soul or source, it's gonna give you, doesn't matter if you don't understand it, because you don't have to understand it, you have to feel it. It has to resonate with you, you will understand it. So it's kind of amazing. So yeah, yeah. So I think that's the best way to kind of explain it. And yeah, I definitely will carry on working with it. um, I've been doing it quite a lot, and some people actually can translate it also. I find this really interesting, like that they would see the symbols or the writing, and it's not really writing. It's like a lot of, like, it looks like you are just scribbling around. And I realized that I used to do this when I was a child, and this is like sign of dragon, like something like this, and then like there are dots. It's really interesting. I always was very like curvy and flowy, and this is like, this is already is the language of the soul. This is light language, and maybe we all do it. And actually everybody can do it, and it would be really nice if we were all do it, because as I said, and I'm not lying here, when I listen to certain ones, not all of them, not all of them resonate, I must admit. It's the same with the meditations or whatever, not all of them resonate whatsoever, but you find yours. And doesn't matter if I had a rubbish diet, or maybe I don't know, I did something I shouldn't have, so I'm not really clean. It cleans me like this, like boom, just like that. And it's instant. It's like 1 second, it hit me and I'm clean. It's amazing. It's so potent. I love it. And it's really beautiful, and it's also, I don't know, there is such grace in it, almost like there is. And so, how did I find out what light language I'm drawn to? Is that yet again I went back to YouTube after I did my activations, and I don't know, I was just watching, and I was about to give up. I was like, ah, this is really not for me. This is like, it looks almost disturbing when some of them for me, and still does. I find it disturbing, the talk, not as much the movements of the hand. I find it okay, and it does resonate with me. And then I found a lady, and the way she spoke, I was like, yeah, this is my language in light language. And then it kind of clicked in place to me. But actually everybody speaks many dialects, so there is no such uh, dialect, no, there is no such thing as a dialect as such. So but that resonated, that made me feel that, yeah, the words I'm using, if you can call it words, or the sounds I'm making, it's resonate to what I just heard through her. And I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of know where um, where my lineage is coming from, which I'm not that interested, because I'm just not at the moment. And I'm not saying I will never will be, because you never know with these things. I was thinking that I have nothing to do with light language, and it turns out I had a bit, or I have a bit. So yeah, that would be my uh, today's mashup. And thank you very much for joining me to this quite long video. And I see you shortly, because as I promised, I'm gonna carry on with the meditations too. Thank you very much again, and have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.